Are you a frequent solo queuer in Carnival Hunt that has been struggling to get wins as Bunny? Are you feeling like it is impossible to escape because your teammates never get off first floor? Are you frustrated by the belief that Killer can just camp the objectives and completely stop you from progressing entirely? Then this is the video for you. In this video, I'm dropping 10 helpful tips to make your solo queue experience better. For reference, at the time of this recording, I'm currently sitting at 4K MMR, but I've been as high as 19 on the MMR leaderboards in the past. I've been mostly solo queuing over the past 2 weeks, and am escaping around 70% of the time. I don't know, most of the time. While different MMR ranges will have different experiences, these tips should be usable no matter what your current MMR is at. So, let's get started. Tip number 1, ping everything. Gears you find, extra keys, gates you're about to open, and especially the area around the killer. It's generally understood that spam pinging means that the killer is in that area, but the person can't ping the killer directly, while single pings are saying where you are, telling people to come here, etc., etc. Pinging provides info for your teammates and allows them to work on things alongside you, helping to overwhelm the killer. Be aware, though, that while there have been recent changes to voice lines when pinging while playing dead, pinging the Magi, objectives, or any of the alt pings will produce a voice line that the killer can hear when you are either standing up or hiding in a bunny pile. Text chat can be used in the same way. Type out where the killer is, any progress you've made, and what you need. For example, let's say you're the only one on 4th floor and you've managed to put both gears in Organ 4. Play dead and type out that both gears are in Organ 4 and you're about to turn the first gear. This lets your teammates know that, hey, killer is about to teleport up to 4th, here's my chance to get objectives done so I can also get to 4th. Your teammates won't always help or listen, and that's okay, but sometimes that little bit of extra info can be all the difference for them to get something done as well. Not to mention, the more you ping and type out, the more likely they are to ping and type things out, ultimately helping you to get more done. Tip number 2, choose your role, passive or aggressive. Most of the time, the teammates you get will dictate what role you need to fill. If you have teammates that are speed running objectives, looping the killer, and helping the team make progress up the floors, you can afford to be more passive. Hide in your Ferris lever and keep pulling it to distract the killer and give your teammates opportunities to move up. Sit in a spot that provides good line of sight of where the killer is so you can provide comms for your teammates. Notice that passive does not mean do nothing. It means play safe in a way that still benefits the team as a whole. If you're playing dead in connecting room 2 and the killer never walks in that room, you're not being helpful. If, however, your teammates are slow, playing scared, or losing gears for no reason, it's on you to be aggressive. Pay attention to when your teammates are in chase through their pings and icons in the top left. When a teammate has the killer busy, use this opportunity to open gates, walk with gears, hit strikers, fire cannons, and do all the other risky moves you have to do to escape. Having bad teammates is only a death sentence if you don't take advantage of them being bad by doing things when the killer is distracted. Tip number 3, be selfish. Now, I can already feel some of you typing in the comments that telling people to play selfish is terrible advice, but please, please, please wait to hit send on that until you hear the next 2 tips. When you're playing with a full stack, you absolutely should be a great teammate who shares oil, shares defensive items like rockets and marbles, and risks your own gears for a save on your teammates. You know these people, you're most likely in comms with these people, and you know that they have your back. When you're solo queue, however, your items, your life gears, and most importantly, your time are much more valuable. This doesn't mean don't ever be a selfless teammate, but instead choose the moments carefully. Notice that one of your teammates has been super active all game helping you advance to 4th floor, but in doing so has lost all his gears. Give him oil. You need him, he's helping you. Along this same line, saving teammates who got grabbed with rockets and marbles can be super valuable, especially if they are on their final life. But if you only have one rocket, that rocket can be the difference between rocketing an imposter and opening final gates undetected versus having to tank that imposter, ultimately alerting the killer and risking a grab. In solo queue, you can't rely on others to have your back, so your life has to be your number 1 priority. Giving a teammate a rocket, marbles, or oil could be the difference between you getting out and you getting caught. Know the difference. Tip number 4. I know there are probably people who are mad at me for that last tip, so this one is for you. There's a difference between being selfish and being a bad teammate. Do things like charging your teammates when they need it and letting them out of cages. If you're a leaderboard grinder, remember that both of these things provide points that contribute to your MMR. If you're going for hat or have managed to open the 4th floor gates and killer doesn't teleport to you right away, don't immediately leave. Seeing bunnies escape changes how the killer plays, ultimately making it harder on your team. Sometimes waiting to leave through hat can bait the killer into dropping down to 1st, buying your teammates extra time to do things on 4th. Likewise, waiting to leave through the exits can allow you to give extra comms of where the killer is at, letting teammates make more educated decisions. You're not always going to escape, no matter how good you are, but you dying can be an opportunity for the rest of your team. Here's an example of me on stream where I knew that I wasn't going to live through this interaction, but because I committed to helping my team, everyone else got out. Oh, we f***ed this up so bad.
And the crowd goes wild. Surprise!
Be free! Now, I'm not saying sacrifice yourself every game in hopes that your team will use that to get stuff done. That would be terrible advice because we're trying to help you escape more often, and dying for the cause doesn't help you do that. But I am saying that people who give up, stop chase, and allow their death to mean nothing for the rest of the team are bad teammates. And if you're being a bad teammate, you have no right to complain about bad teammates. Tip number 5. Understand what needs to be prioritized for each map. You may not be able to control what your teammates do, but you can always control what you do. You need to go into each game knowing what you need to do to escape with the assumption that you will get 0 help. If you're hoping to get carried every game, brother, this is not the video for you. We are about taking accountability over here and owning up to your actions. Now, each wing has a priority objective and a weaker secondary objective. Learn each wing, where to bring gears, and where you can find extra gears if your teammates use a gear incorrectly. Do you have amusement or organ? Understand how to utilize cannon, and when you should be the one going up versus when it should be someone else. Cannon is one of the most powerful objectives for bunnies in the game, and if you have rope, you essentially move your entire team up to 3rd at the cost of 1 life gear. If there's a choice between double gate stairs and a zipline, 99.9% of the time, choose the stairs. Stairs allow for multiple bunnies to get up, while ziplines allow for one individual bunny to get up while alerting the killer of where he is every single time. Even if the killer closes the gates, it is always better to unlock the stairs up. There are also several shortcuts in the game. Shortcut gates can be super helpful, but should not be prioritized over objective gates. For example, if you can only find 1 gear in Organ 3, and you choose to put that gear in shortcut rather than the striker gate to 4th, you have just eliminated one of the 3 objectives that you can use to get up to 4th, making the killer's job that much easier. Yes, there are extra gears you can grab from center and connecting rooms, but my point is that in a game where time matters, the objectives have to be the first priority unless you actively know where another gear is. Roba just put out an incredible video on all the different objectives, so I'm going to link that video in the description. I highly recommend checking that out after you finish this video. Tip number 6. Do not be the person that camps 1st floor as soon as you find the radar. Everyone hates this person. Be better. Keep helping your team, and if at the end it becomes hopeless, then you can jump down and go for hat. While this does not happen frequently in high MMR lobbies, I've seen multiple streams where a bunny with 3 life gears finds a radar and then just plays dead on 1st the entire game. Why? You have 3 life gears for a reason. Why not use them? By the time the hat is available, those gears won't matter anyway if the killer finds you 1st, so you might as well continue playing the game and help your teammates. This is a team game, and while I am trying to help you escape more often, I also want to call out bad teammate behaviors. You're not getting any better by doing nothing. Just because you got an escape doesn't mean you're a good player. Now I'm going to say that again for the people in the back. Just because you got an escape doesn't mean you're good at the game. Okay, sorry, I'm off my soapbox. Tip number 7, Jack is your best friend as a solo queue bunny. He's the one person you can rely on every game, and so many people either don't know what he does or don't use him when they need him. If you find toolboxes and candy while you're looting first floor, drop it in front of Jack. Have a key, turn it on for yourself and others that get thrown down later in the game and have their keys taken. I can't tell you how annoying it is to be 10 minutes into the game after you just got thrown down, try to run to Jack and realize that nobody turned it on. So then you have to go find a key on first floor, which is already hard enough to do, wasting valuable time that you could be advancing objectives. From oil to defensive items to just getting a charge, Jack can be monumental in helping you escape. Use him. I also want to include the carousel minigame in this tip. While it does alert the killer when you turn it on, currently the chances for oil seem to be higher playing this minigame versus gambling with Jack. Tip number 8, lower your expectations. Look, I know this sounds stupid, but this is a team game at the end of the day. While these tips will help, they won't make up for games with bad teammates and strong killers. There are maps in the games that are currently extremely killer-sided, and don't even get me started on my opinion on the sisters. There will be games where you can do everything right and you still might lose because you don't have the support you need to make that final push. If you go into the game understanding that you're already at a disadvantage, it can help save the mental so you can go into the next game with a clear head. Don't let one game tilt you into playing bad in the next game where you could potentially have better teammates, a worse killer, a bunny-sided map, or a bunny-sided map orientation. Tip number 9 is similar to 8, but look at each game as an opportunity to get better. Like I said, even the best bunnies in the game do not win every single game, but there is stuff that you can learn, improve on, and add to your bag every single game. Did you die super early and aren't sure why? Watch the replay. I played sports my entire life, and watching game film was always a major tool to get ready for the next game. It's a way to see what you did right, what went wrong, and what you can improve on. Are you in a game that feels hopeless? Try some new stuff. Use it as an opportunity to explore a different playstyle or try a new looping path you haven't used before. I mean, you already believed you were going to lose anyway, right? Might as well get something out of it. This tip is all about mentality, because if your takeaway from every game is, this is impossible, killer is too strong, solo queue sucks, my teammates are terrible, you will never get better. If you want to improve, you have to believe that there is always something you personally could do better. Not to mention, it's super annoying to listen to someone yell that it was impossible to win because of the circumstances in that game. Now, before I give the final tip, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for future videos. Tip number 10, be purposeful with your life gears. In a game where you're playing with a full stack, ideally every time someone loses a life gear, the team is taking advantage of it by advancing objectives. When you're solo queue, you have to assume that no one is going to be ready to do anything when you get grabbed. This means that you need to be able to use your grabs purposely. This one is kind of hard to explain without examples, so let's say there's 6 minutes left on the timer and you still have an extra life gear. This is your time to play super aggressive. Trigger imposters, open gates, hit strikers, do things that very well could attract the attention of the killer. Reason being, once the game hits the 5-minute mark, none of those extra gears matter because you're an instant kill anyway. Fair warning for this, the timer isn't always accurate and sometimes the final stage of the game will start before or after your in-game timer shows 5 minutes left on the clock. Nothing is worse than getting caught thinking you have 20 seconds left only to see the final stage message pop up and realize you're now about to die. The best way to know if your timer is early, late, or on time is to see what the timer says as soon as you spawn in. If you have more or less than 30 minutes, the difference is how off your timer is to the actual in-game clock. Now, an example of a time outside of the last 5 minutes would be if progress has been stalled and nothing is getting done. You can write out in text chat that you're about to purposely grab the attention of the killer, again, by trying to push an objective that you know probably won't succeed. Best case scenario, either the killer is slow to get to you and you finish the objective, or your team is actually able to complete other objectives during this time because they had advanced warning. Worst case scenario, you either waste an imposter for Magi, slightly advance a striker, get a gear in, or better learn how, where, and when the killer will likely respawn the next time you try to push that particular objective. The caveat to this is that, as mentioned earlier in the video, life gears are obviously very valuable. It's likely that you will lose some gears along the way, either by mistakes in chase or through the actions of your teammates. If you want to sacrifice a gear, you have to obviously have the gears to sacrifice. But this tip is important because sometimes when the game stalls and the killer manages to stop all pressure, teams freeze and stop working out of fear that doing anything will get them grabbed. You taking the hit can unfreeze some teams and help gain back some momentum from the killer. Those are my tips to improve your chances to escape when playing solo queue. Did I miss anything? Was this a terrible video and it really is all your teammates' fault? Did you get a win after watching this video? Let me know in the comments.